Gee, I wonder what video you guys want me to watch. You are all a bunch of raging psychopaths if you truly find enjoyment in watching me have an emotional breakdown live right before your eyes. Never did I think my life would come to a point where I dedicate my entire existence to an absolutely insane Dreamworks conspiracy theory and Mort. At this point, I don't even know if I'm on the same plane of existence anymore or if anything around me is even real. This time, we've got the Mort theory just spiraled into chaos. As if this theory hasn't spiraled into chaos already! So without any further ado, the next installment of the Dreamworks theory, may the gods be ever on our side. Let's see what we got.
Warning, this is part 23 of my theory on Mort from Madagascar, and more accurately is kind of the second half of part 22, which I uploaded just a few days ago. I'll link it above now. None of this will make any sense unless you've seen at minimum part 22, where I explain
it already doesn't
what all
make
this is about.
The crazy thing is this theory at this point makes absolutely no sense whatsoever, but so much sense at the same time, dude. I don't know what to believe.
Those who haven't seen the other 20 parts. I will also link the full playlist above. Good? Good. Let's do this thing.
Oh gosh. I hope everybody's wearing their bulletproof vests and is in their apocalypse bunkers, because this is gonna get destructive.
Hello, I'm the Theorizer,
Hey,
and with the previous video, we finally have the majority of Shrek out of the way. Not all of it, but here's where things are about to take a turn. These sky gods, the amount that they're doing, that they're getting away with, it's just ridiculous.
Right, in the last one, dude, in the last one we learned that the French regime is in cahoots with the sky gods for the purpose of suppressing the powers of the advanced non-humanoid species of creatures and stuff like that, bro. So this is getting steamy.
We covered a lot in that video. The gods are
getting
manipulating
steamy,
musicians.
right? There's some weird musical cult that brainwashes and manipulates the masses through the art of song and dance. Kind of like Playboy Cardi, bro. Like, this is wild.
Turning their own footmen against one another, swapping sides, dictating fates, and jump-starting apocalypses. Who are they? I mean, we know that. We get a ton of it in All Hail King Julian, but I have more to say on this. They are called sky gods for a reason. They aren't just gods. They are the controllers of the sky. You know about the spooky lightning, but it goes far deeper than that. We even know about the ghosts and the magic they perpetuate, but that's still only like one level deep. We need to be much more aggressive. Here's where things are either going to get shocking or go too far, and that's with the sun and moon imagery. Give me 1 minute though, and you'll see just how solid this really is. There's the little things, like how Mort screams at the sun, or how there's a sun on the Duloc music cult. Wow. Flimsy as all hell. But we do know that the sun and moon are godly. It's All Hail King Julian stuff, but that moon, this moon, I'm telling you. Charming races to save Fiona in front of an abnormally large desert full moon. The night of the fairy godmother's blackmail is centered around an abnormally large, omnipresent full moon. Shrek and Fiona enjoy their honeymoon while being watched across where the lightning splits the sea by a looming and aggressive, abnormally large full moon. And then there's tons more too. This is just the Shrek films, mind you. I could go into detail with all the other appearances too, but it's always there. The moon
and the Dreamworks logo uses the moon as a toilet.
Is always there.
That means absolutely nothing. I just feel like I wanted to throw that in there. Don't listen to anything I'm saying. I'm stupid.
Films I've been theorizing on, because every single time you start up one of these movies, you are greeted with exactly that.
Oh my god, I was right, dude, nice. Look at me, I guess I'm not another big brain. Y'all should listen to me more. Look at that.
Exactly that. The Dreamworks moon. This is the ultimate sky god. This is the ultimate proof of a shared universe. Let me direct you back to All Hail King Julian, where I now have explicit reason to believe that the main character who's in tune with the universe...
Okay, so we have found out that the main god amongst gods is the moon. Interesting. Interesting. I'm terrified to see where this is going.
Has his very specific name for all these reasons. His name is Sage Moon Dancer. He and his bird are definitely a part of things, as I assumed long ago. More importantly, though, can I direct you to the show's opening sequence, which centers around Julian. As we've repeatedly established, Pineapple contains all of the souls of the previous Lemur kings, and of course is also the leader of the gods. Our Julian is the prized possession of the gods, and it finally hit me because there he is, sitting on the Dreamworks moon, fishing and catching. Who do you think? Mort. Mort's also the one who flies into the logo and replaces the I in King, stealing the crown which this entire time has also resembled a pineapple. This show is...
Dude, I thought I was done with this all-hail King Julian madness, dude, but it keeps coming back for more, bro. It's just about time I'm already dead, bleeding out in the street, and it's gonna walk up to me and start beating me with a stick, bro.
It's called All
Like,
Hail
have
King
mercy
Julian
on me,
for a reason.
please.
Julian is a royal with godly blood in his veins, and this is about to become critical to my theories. You see, there's a reason Julian's feet do what they do to Mort. Just you wait. So, to put it simply, this moon is important. More shocking, though, is that it has a backstory, or at least
What?
it can. Perhaps the moon represents all of the sky gods at once, a symbol of the pantheon. We need more, and so as you might be able to tell, this is finally where Rise of the Guardians enters the picture.
Oh.
This movie follows Santa Claus, the Tooth Fairy, the Easter Bunny, and the Sandman, as they're all spirits who were once alive and then sort of kept from death by the man in the moon. There are many other spirits too, but these few are the most physical and legendary, and they are referred to...
Dude, now Santa and the Tooth Fairy are getting involved, bro. This is like the Avengers. This is like the Avengers, bro. You call on all of the mightiest, most powerful beings to all squat up, bro. This is getting out of hand. When Santa gets involved, you know shit's getting real.
As Guardians. The film details Jack Frost evolving from regular spirit to Guardian, and the film's villain is a truly aggressive being known as Pitch Black, aka the Boogeyman, and the Guardians have to stop him. I hope you can see the parallels in how the Man in the Moon keeps people from death and then assimilates them, because it's the exact same anti-Mort capabilities that I've been theorizing the Sky Gods to have for ages now. These Guardians are there to comfort and raise the next generations of humanity, keeping them safe from the Boogeyman and such. I'm hesitant, however. Hesitant for the same reason I was hesitant to include my old Guardians theory in the playlist and still haven't, and the same reason I have yet to make another video on the film. This is miles more complex than the other films. You see...
So, are the Guardians, are they supposed to defend from Mort? Or are they fighting with Mort, bro? Because if Mort gets Santa Claus and the fucking Easter Bunny on his side, dude, I don't think anybody's stopping him at that point, bro.
Guardians is directly based off of the Guardians of Childhood book series, which is full of lore and its own backstories, but Dreamworks also has a track record of appropriating source material and merging them into prior-conceived plot lines to their liking. Remember the film Home? Do you remember what I said about it in part 21? The aliens took up residence in Paris, of all places? Well, commenter Retro Red made sure to highlight the truth.
Fun fact, Home decided to change the locations of many events of the book it was based on. So someone at Dreamworks willingly changed it to France. Dude, the French, you can't trust them. You can't trust the French, bro. They be eating snails and saying wee wee, bro. I knew I couldn't trust them French people. They got like weird mustaches and wear funny hats, bro.
True mind blow here, which is that the book Home is based on didn't take place in Paris. Dreamworks consciously changed it. Another example of book continuity is Shrek, where I deemed that various characters had been adapted from the book improperly for a very strict reason. To put things as simply as I can, Dreamworks is taking elements and bending them to their own stories. This changes things, and even if you choose to defy their methods, my point in general is this. The Sky Gods are taking those who were reaped wrong and twisting them to their cause. This is the grand story across all Dreamworks films you see.
What?
Each side is recruiting more and more forces from the other side, slowly compromising everything as humans regress into weaker and weaker states.
Dude, this is getting insane, bro. This is now we're recruiting people from other side like this is the Transformers, bro. Nah, bro. Nah, dude. My third eye is foreseeing a war. An intergalactic, inter-universal war, bro. It's gonna be apocalyptic across the entire space-time continuum, bro. Ripples in the fabric of time and space, bro. This is bad.
Slowly
This
compromising
is very bad.
everything as humans regress into weaker and weaker states. This leads to more desperation and more underhandedness, and as I've already said a few times now, things are not black and white. And you know, hey, I'm just saying, if the Sky Gods created the Guardians, then it would stand to reason that Mort created the Boogeyman, and all it takes is one look at his weapon of choice, and you can see that I'm right on the fucking mark.
Oh.
This moon, the moon we see recur everywhere imaginable, is not.
Dude, what is the story behind this boy? What is this the Antichrist? Is this the child of death? Who is this boy? Who is this boy? We need to find out immediately, bro, because I feel like this boy says he's got something going on that we don't know about, bro. I can't trust children, bro. Children terrify me, bro, and this is exactly why. Right
moon.
here.
It is a sky god, or all sky gods. As tired as I am of the Shrek films at this point in the theory, one of the key moments I can highlight would be when two intelligent beasts sit next to each other, staring directly at it, as they point to mythical ancestral figures in various constellations scattered about. The moon, the heavens, the Mort constellations. And here's the ultimate Shrek bombshell insofar as it wraps back around to my original theory on Fiona from 2016. It just hit me that her curse only affects her when the sun goes down.
When the moon is out!
Which is 100% consistent with the idea that the fairy godmother cursed her to begin with because she derives her magic from the sky gods who primarily take the collective form of the moon, and thus their focus would be somewhat increased at night. We've reached the point in these connection segments, part 17, part 21, part 22, part 23, where there's been so much evidence, some amazing, some mediocre, but still so much, that I'm on the threshold of exploding like an explosion. If you've been following the series to any extent, you know my reactions are warranted. I'm struggling to parse through a few things because the line is blurring at this point, so much so that when I started watching the animation tests, I swear I started seeing things like Pineapple and Lord Farquaad's invisible crown, so I need to ground myself. We know lots about the Sky Gods, now it's time for me to lampoon them. Shit's about to get juicy, cause their fishy-ass dream.
Now we're getting juicy, bro. We've got spicy, we've gotten steamy, now we're getting juicy, bro.
Working. You see,
Oh
we may
my gosh.
loosely know who they are and what they've done, but their behavior is particularly repugnant. I am referring, of course, to their demand for sacrifices. They relish in such things, and have even presented their enemies with peace offerings in the form of sacrificial food. Chantal Dubois. Need I say more? Yes. The penguins. These four creatures are out for blood like you wouldn't believe. Both sides of this battle are so focused on this murderous behavior, and you can see this when the penguins joke about having killed the freighter crew and eaten their livers. Gloria looks shocked, and Skipper claims that they in fact just sent the crew off to China on a lifeboat. Honestly, either of those could be true, and either would be interesting, but I've still yet to incorporate China and Kung Fu Panda into this, so give it time.
I don't know, bro. The penguins definitely look like the type of people that would eat some people's livers, bro. They definitely seem like the type of creatures that would chow down on a couple of livers every now and then, dude. I don't know.
Notable, then, is when they try murdering the old woman almost constantly in the second Madagascar film. They try ramming her down with a car, and then a plane, and when she doesn't die, they hit her again. Of course, you may recall that Nana is an integral part of the Feet cult, as I've been saying for ages now, so it makes sense, I suppose, but the penguins are no less bloodthirsty for others. Funny enough, I recently stumbled upon a theory on Reddit that was based off of mine from user James the Ice.
So I've been thinking about Madagascar is the afterlife, and Mort is trapping people there. So I've been thinking about Madagascar again. So you know how at the beginning of Madagascar 1, the animals break into the subway and get stunned. I don't think those were stun guns. I think they used real bullets! Somebody call PETA, please. This is like Harambe all over again, bro. The ship cruise and Madagascar were respectively the journey to the afterlife. Excuse me?
Who looked at all the data and determined that Madagascar could very well be the afterlife. Now that's very noteworthy, but it doesn't fully pan out because of a variety of things we see in All Hail King Julian. What does pan out, though, is something that was uncovered by them in the replies. I wouldn't have caught it if not for Twitter user @RidleyGT, though, so credit where credit's due, but this idea that each penguin represents a...
Riders of the Apocalypse. Skipper is war. Rico is famine. Kowalski is pestilence, and Private is no rider, which is why he feels like he doesn't fit in. I suppose Mort, who is death, had them reborn when he himself was reborn. But unlike them, he was born a mouse lemur and not a penguin. The body he would have had is Private, but Private's egg hatched a few minutes too late, and so he had to find a substitute. The penguins don't know what they are.
A different horse.
Dude, I hate all of this.
Well, it would answer a large number of questions I've been having about the topic.
I'm not having a fun
I don't know about the
time.
other two, but Rico and Skipper almost eerily fit the descriptions of war and famine, and I think it was Rico's bottomless stomach that really got me. I don't know, though. We'll have to see how things play out, but these important supernatural figures will likely come into play eventually, one way or another.
I've since figured out, and I will cover in part 24. Mort is not a clown, he is the whole circus.
The point in all of this.
What makes you say that, man?
The sky gods are bloodthirsty, the penguins are bloodthirsty, Mort is bloodthirsty, and yes, as I've mentioned multiple times before, I have indeed seen the penguins post-credit scene where Mort basically eats King Julian whole after being transfused with a crap ton of mutated genes.
Excuse
me? This scene does add to the idea that the films agree with All Hail King Julian's.
Dude, after what I've seen in All Hail King Julian, cannibalism they ain't even that crazy, bro.
Depiction of Mort,
like the things that they was doing.
Involved in the sacrificial food business. I will say that this isn't permanent, though. Julian isn't dead here, and he was likely fine afterwards. Though remember last time when I said Donkey could have been sacrificial food? Well, you're not gonna believe this, but in Shrek 4, the ogres literally tie Donkey up to eat him, and he claims that he goes down smooth but comes out fighting. This implies that Donkey somehow has knowledge of what it's like to be eaten, and it is disturbing.
Oh
How
my
is everything
gosh.
coming true? How... I'd have to say, though, that the Sky God's most
Are you okay?
moment would also come from the films, which is surprising. Or is it? Yes, in the second film, you may recall the climax where Julian convinced Melman to sacrifice himself to the Sky Gods by jumping into the volcano with the hopes that the river would start flowing again. That's literally exactly how they describe it in the film.
Oh.
Commenter Mad May
Bro,
pointed out that it was
now we've got sacrifices. Now we've got sacrifices for the gods, bro. Dude, when does this end? When will this end, bro? I cannot remember the last time I felt just a single drop of happiness, bro. What is this madness? In Madagascar 2, they all escape to Africa. Mort is attacked by a shark and kept busy for most of the film. The Africans and the Madagascar crew are then punished by the Sky Gods for allowing Mort to escape, and their water supply is taken away. There is no rain, and who builds the dam to dry the river? A member of Feet. King Julian, known messenger of the Sky Gods, suggests a sacrifice of an intelligent animal to appease them. Dude, at this point, bro, if you were to just sit here and explain this theory to somebody, they might think you the most crazy, psychotic person on the face of the entire planet. But when you look at all of the similarities, bro, this makes so much damn sense, and I still feel like the most psychotic person on the face of this planet, bro. This is getting out of control.
A footman who blocked the river to begin with, and that's true, it was Nana. This sent me on a bewildering tangent like you won't believe. I had always thought that Nana was in the KGB, remember? Well, I'm now more than ever certain that she's actually in Feet. You see, like Dubois, I believe Nana has been preparing for this moment her entire life. She instantly sets up camp and plans to eat lions. She claims it tastes like chicken, which means that she, like Dubois, was trained from an early age to go after Alex specifically. Go after him as food. There it is again, the sacrifice. In my theory on her, I claimed she went to Africa annually, and now we know why. It was stated that she ends the film by taking Makunga home, somehow, and now we know what she actually plans to do with him.
Oh my
Tastes
gosh, she about to turn him into a Christmas dinner! Oh, nah, bro. Oh, yeah, gather around the table for some lion legs, bro.
somehow, and now we know what she actually plans to do with him. Tastes like chicken. On top of this, Melman never actually does sacrifice himself to the sky gods, and everyone leaves before once again the mind screw sets in. If you've seen the film, then you know exactly what happens next. Mort, after being absent for the entire film, shows up with a shark that has somehow been chasing him across the savannah from the coastline as it's somehow magically still alive, and then he sacrifices that to the gods. Fire bursts up, reminiscent of Devil Dubois, and instantaneously the river starts flowing again. I believe the entire climax with the plane and the dam was supernaturally influenced by the sky gods in one way or another. We discussed in part 21 how they likely also did it in the third film's plane sequence, and there are tons of things they could have done here too.
So the sky gods took the water away from the river, and so they needed a sacrifice to bring the water back. That's kind of evil. That's kind of devious, bro. I know Mort is death himself, bro, and Mort is technically the side of evil, dude. But the feet, the side of the French, bro, they're not so dandy themselves.
On a monkey chain, Nana with the purse, and a freak accident beheading Skipper's love life. Nana is such a footman it isn't even funny. Alex dances to the music and fulfills his Central Park Zoo training from the foot outpost it is, and Nana can't help but call it beautiful, as it is music and it is holy. But it doesn't stop her, the greater forces do. Even her dog knows something's up as it tries horrifically murdering the penguins in the Christmas Caper special. It all clicks when you view these films through a lens of life versus death and gods versus Mort. So those are all some really interesting points about the ways in which the sky gods deal with sacrifices, but I still haven't hit you with the biggest slap in the face to
we're not done yet.
Year.
Sacrifice? Oh, that's just the tip of this damn iceberg. There's more. Wow, what a fucking shocker, dude.
In the Madagascar film,
what a shocker!
King Julian, we witness most of the lemur's important discussions inside of the plane that crash-landed in the baobab tree. This plane is full of human skeletons, and for decades, presumably, the royal lemur line has been using it as their throne room. This is the same plane they later modify and crash-land twice. This plane, this thing that's at the center of some of the most important events in all of the Madagascar lore, it flew in from France.
I hate this. I hate this. I hate this.
Honestly, I can keep going.
Please
These
don't.
French people...
You're gonna cause yourself physical pain. Please. You're gonna cause me physical pain. I've already experienced emotional trauma, dude.
Flew in with a cookbook that instructs how to cook lemurs like the apparent sacrificial food they are. This is all on full display in the film, no less. This is all film lore. The continuity is shocking, it is devastating, it is horrific. I am speechless, and I ask one more time. Do you believe me now? Alright, so I'm starting to get a feel for why the sky...
Bro, Theorizer, you better be careful, bro. You better be careful. Them people at Dreamworks about to put a hit out on you, bro. They about to put a bounty on your head for exposing their deepest, most classified secrets, bro. You gotta relax.
Most often represent themselves
You
with
cracking
fruit.
the
It's a
case.
form easily consumed, even though they are
You better
the
have the
consumers.
mafia at your doorstep.
Remember that All Hail King Julian episode where the fruit flies tried killing everyone? Mort ate them and then became a fly. It was weird, and I think the fact that it now makes sense is even weirder. Sentient food is very prevalent here. Almost as prevalent as the sacrifices, I'd say. When Alex first lands in Madagascar, what does he start seeing everywhere? Talking steak. You can't make this shit up. I swear it's all true, and it's not just in Madagascar either, it's everywhere. Literally sacrificial foods. Namely, of course, where else but back to the Shrek films. Sentient foodstuffs include the animal crackers from Shrek 4, and the one fighting them, of course, the gingerbread man, who was created by the Muffin Man at Drury Lane. How do I know this is truly tied in? Well, during the Gingerbread Man's interrogation by Lord Farquaad, he claims that the Muffin Man's wife is hiding fairy tale characters from those who would destroy them. Farquaad then claims that he knows the Muffin Man. He knows some random man who lives across the continent and far, far away? Yeah, you better bet the Muffin Man is a footman too. How else? And when the gang visits the Muffin Man
not the Muffin Man, bro! Man, not the gumdrop buttons, bro! It's the gumdrop buttons are French propaganda, dude! I knew it! I knew it, bro. The gumdrop buttons is one of the most iconic lines in all of the entire Shrek franchise, and they are using it to indoctrinate the youth and get them established with the French regime and ideals, bro.
2. Drury Lane
This is not good.
Resurrecting the dead and granting supernatural life to
Well, what?
Muffin Man is a footman too. How else? And when the gang visits the Muffin Man in Shrek 2, Drury Lane is a horror show of resurrecting the dead and granting supernatural life to inanimate objects with referential lightning, and the Muffin Man has a French accent.
Oh my gosh.
Pinch me. Pinch me. We were done with Shrek. Wake me up. This isn't happening. French chefs.
Dude, I can see it now, bro. Dude, I can see it now. All of his walls are covered in graphs and charts and like those things where he's like connecting the dots, bro. He's got scribbles all over his wall. His hair is falling out, dude. He's got like coffee boiling over on the fucking stove, dude. His friends and family are worried about him, bro. This is not good, dude. His mental state is deteriorating into nothing, and there's nothing we can do about it. All we can do is sit and watch, dude.
Wake me up.
This is not good.
French chefs greet the important guests with snail appetizers. Shrek tends to prefer the grosser things in life as he confronts the footman villagers back home by telling them that he planned to peel their skin and their livers and squeeze their eyes. Yikes, intelligent beast be beastly. There's more sacrificial food, and they call him a beast. Following the dinner scene, the godmother shows up from a brightly lit night sky as she sings a song so full of evidence that it isn't remotely funny. She gives Fiona a Bichon Frise, which is a French dog, and makes sure to specify the breed in her musical number before offering a chicken fricassee and telling Fiona to spoon someone on the moon and showing Prince Charles in Fiona's bathroom mirror, but more on that in a second. The godmother creates life. She makes furniture sentient, which is directly in line with all that I've been saying.
Now you gonna tell me the Queen of England isn't on it, bro? Now you telling me the royal family is in cahoots with the fucking with the fairy godmother and the fucking sky gods and the French?
Creates life. She makes furniture sentient,
Dude,
which is directly in line with all that
another
I've been
world
saying.
war.
She probably created the enchanted trees too, and this is where all my Dronki theories come in, considering we now know why her magic was powerful enough to permit their existence. In the godmother's factory, her own workers actively hate her tyrannical rule and are out to stop her in a unionized movement that's somewhat similar to the movement she helped create, the meme cult. These are all very vague little pieces of evidence on their own, but not together. Together they add up. Even if the more coincidental ones add very little, you don't realize these sorts of things until you acknowledge that a ton of Dreamworks films end on dance sequences, which is no longer as ridiculous and boring as you thought it was. Or how about when the three pigs look up the fairy godmother's dress and say they see London, they see France? I don't know where to draw the line, so I'm saying everything. I'll have to find a line, though. In the later parts where I will bring common sense into this, I will draw the line. And I fear that day. Alright, we've gone from Shrek evidence on top of Shrek evidence on top of Shrek evidence to the theories on the moon, to the theories on the sacrifices. Now we're finally on to the less clustered evidence. When editing part 21, I noticed something odd in the trivia section of the Monsters vs. Aliens wiki. It was legit, and thus I zoomed way in on it in my video, hoping all of you would see it, and most did, that being the fact that the general in Monsters vs. Aliens is literally wearing a Shrek pin? As viewer at Sensei pointed out on Twitter, it is indeed also surrounded by clouds, as you would expect from the sky gods. It is in fact the definitive form they take in most of the canon. Though, what are the details and logistics of this? How does this work in terms of overall timeline? What does it mean? I plan to get to this later, of course, as I have no idea.
What does it mean?
It shakes a few things up, but can also be discussed in the logic segments. I've also gotten a few comments about the villain of the Boss Baby, whose name is literally
He looked like
Francis.
Wait.
Literally, Francis,
dude, there's no way. Nah, bro, with that right there it is, bro. He just put the nail in the coffin, bro. There is no way you can dispute any of this now. Just based on this guy being Francis, bro.
But the villain of the Boss Baby, whose name is literally Francis.
Oh my god. Now we got
How has
Boss
nobody spotted
Baby.
at bare minimum the French connections before? How in all these years am I honestly the first? A number of you have commented about Mr. Peabody and Sherman going back to medieval France, and there being an absolutely massive number of connections in it, but I'll tend to that in the next part because this theory is getting larger than anything I've ever made. Another pattern I realized upon a recent Megamind rewatch is when Metro Man pretends to be weakened near the beginning of the film, he randomly chooses copper to be the metal of his weakness, which I find quite fascinating considering a substantial part of Mort is infamously made of copper.
You know what else is made out of copper? The Statue of fucking Liberty. You know who gave us the Statue of Liberty? The French. This is crazy.
Remember his genetics?
This is crazy. This is crazy.
Metro Man also discusses non-corrosive metals, but I felt the need to cover the copper. Again, debate in the comments, but this would come as no surprise because of course Feet would want to recruit Metro Man. He's the pinnacle of forced evolution. Given that he's essentially Superman, even more evidence against Metro City is that they let Megamind orbit his own satellite, and they claim the city does pay the prison, but we're all past that now. No, what we need to discuss right now is more important than petty pins or copper. We need to get on a critical mystery. Todd. Remember this All Hail King Julian character?
Oh,
Todd.
God. Not Todd, bro. Not the literal demon child, bro. Dude, what you did, Todd? Dude, this is bro. I thought we was done with Todd. I thought we was done with Todd, bro.
To get on a critical mystery. Todd. Remember this All Hail King Julian character? He's a toddler, and so much more. As you may recall, he's a little baby lemur possessed by a devil, and he has 2/7 of the deadly sins for parents. The show flips between the terms devil and demon, but considering the fire symbolism I keep highlighting throughout these last few videos
It's
with
demon.
things like the maybe random flames on Charming's leotard, you know, there's evidence everywhere if you squint hard enough, but we know that Dubois has a more direct tie to the big one, which would imply to me that Todd is being possessed by a low-level functionary courtesy of Hell, or the Sky God's equivalent of Hell. They do reference it in the show, if I recall. Todd is possessed by a demon, but not just any demon. It's one that makes the exact same attack face as our dear old Mort, which would imply that they are tied. Here's the thing. Since the very first second I mentioned Todd, you've all been commenting.
Dude, I noticed that the way back, right? Way back when we was in All Hail King Julian, right? And we was first talking about Todd, bro. I was confused because he would show me a picture of Todd, and I'd be like, "What the hell? I thought that was Mort." And then he shows me a picture of Mort, and I'm like, "What the hell? I thought that was Todd."
Here's the thing. Since the very first second I mentioned Todd, you've all been commenting how Todd is German for I shit you not.
What?
The word death. Okay.
Dude, nah, bro. Oh, dude, dude. The entire UN is about to fucking nice, bro. No, the entire European Union is set out for destruction, bro. This is not good. Dude, the French, the German, right? The royal family up in fucking Britain, bro. Next up, Mario and Luigi are gonna make an appearance, right? Somebody from fucking Spain or some shit's gonna come up, bro. I don't know, Croatia might make an appearance here, but it's just good the whole globe, dude.
So first of all, this
Why
should
now?
be
I wouldn't be surprised if Russia made an appearance in here somewhere.
absolutely explicit confirmation that the creators of All Hail King Julian were aware that Mort's name means death, considering they now have two characters who look the same and act the same with the same name.
And they're
We know the
both
Penguin
deaf.
spin-off openly stated facts about Mort's name, but this should openly confirm that here as well.
Bro, you know what's the funniest part about the whole about this whole thing is the fact that Todd is German for death. I have known a lot of white dudes named Todd throughout my life, bro. And you look at them and you would think the complete opposite of death, bro. Like yeah, my guy Todd, oh yeah, he's death, bro.
There
He's
can be a number of
death
other
himself.
possibilities, many of which you
Helped me with my math homework too, bro.
probably guess off the top of your head. Is Todd's demon secretly the son of the original Mort? I think more likely Todd represents maybe the Antichrist or something. I don't know. I honestly have no idea. I have to go in and do a second rewatch of the show to get all the updated evidence, but each time the intro starts, my stomach sinks and I get tunnel vision from flashbacks of sheer overanalysis. I will cover Todd better next time, but absolutely comment if you have anything to say about him. For those who still don't think any of this massive shared universe was planned by Dreamworks, you're sort of missing the point. That's not the question. There's no reason that any of this should be able to connect, and yet here it is happening. Sometimes in a flimsy way, but sometimes to perfection. My shock is more at the fact that this has been never-ending, and the connections just keep coming. Flawlessly, as if the universe itself is taunting me, not Dreamworks. You're forgetting that at its core, this is all one extremely elaborate theory on All Hail King Julian, and how the writers found the exact same patterns in Dreamworks that I did, and then gave it all a backstory in the form of their show. This is a theory on that. And the purpose of doing all this isn't even the theory at this point, it's just seeing how shockingly deep this keeps
Yeah, at this point, bro, at this point, there ain't even really much of a theory at this point, bro. It's facts, okay? This is all connected, and Mort is a god. At this point, bro, he's just tormenting and torturing me with facts on facts on facts, evidence on evidence on evidence, to prove this absolute wild, psychotic, and mad theory, bro. Like this point, it's not even theory, dude.
This isn't even the theory at this point.
It's
just seeing how shockingly deep this keeps connecting, because there's no reason it should be like this, and yet it is. It should be obvious at this point because the sheer volume of references and lines that point back to All Hail King Julian is shocking. At one point during this, I even started obsessing over whether Shrek's onion metaphor was a reference to the heaven fruits or something, because they're food, only to turn on Netflix and be greeted with this.
Because I'm like an onion, Maurice. There's a lot of layers up in here.
This is yet another explicit reference back to everything, and the show is packed with it, far beyond what I discussed in those designated segments. It goes deep. The only way to undo...
Bro, I said this in the last episode. This theory got so many damn layers, just like the onions, bro.
Patterns as if Dreamworks were to scrub their films from history, which isn't going to happen. Don't worry about the logic and common sense of it all. Remember, I will fix that when the time comes and all of the evidence is on the table. Some of you were asking if I knew about the mama bear from Shrek being skinned alive by Lord Farquaad. And yes, I've been fully aware of this for several years, but it doesn't change much for this theory specifically. Another element that I don't think anyone realizes is that not only is Baby Bear crying, but he's the only other character who raises his hand when Shrek asks where Lord Farquaad is, and then Papa Bear rapidly forces his hand down. I say this now to once again prove a point about detail and intent.
Oh my god. Bro, I did Shrek the Musical my junior year in high school. You know who I played? I played Baby Bear. Now I'm sitting here and you telling me that my character is knowing of the fate of his mother, and I wasn't aware of it the whole time, bro.
Now to once again prove a point.
I feel like if I had this information a lot sooner, I really could have performed the character a lot better. You know what I'm saying? I really felt like I could have embodied the true aura of the Baby Bear had this information been presented to me at that time.
Detail,
you know what I mean?
And intent. They are clever. These writers openly aimed to be the anti-Disney, and it's pretty clear that they've succeeded if they've cranked human-animal relations back so far as to trigger a mass apocalyptic event, i.e. the eradication of humanity. Mama Bear is also suspicious, though, because I recall her also being in the karaoke sequence, canon versus canon, weird timelines. For the love of pineapple, the depth of this is destroying me harder than anything else. So now that we've gotten that massive disclaimer about common sense out of the way, I present to you for all your troubles a few answers. The biggest and most obvious one that has been plaguing me for ages now is the question, why music? I need to know the reason behind music and why these cults are using it. It clearly has magical ties.
Because everybody
with
loves
Merlin
shaking a
as any
little
indication.
ass.
And remember, Hook's piano blew up, leading to all of the villains running away as if their magical tie was severed. But I feel like the Sky Gods will give us a better answer here, so I went back yet again to the Madagascar films, and the answer hit me like a train. Julian spends the entirety of his existence living as a vessel of the gods and doing what? Dancing. He's constantly doing the move it, and Mort clamps onto his feet to stop him from doing it. This is it. I was right with the piano. Music truly is how they communicate with the Sky Gods. Julian's entire character is that he has godly blood and he's a dancer. That's it. I'm speechless. You have to believe me, this is insane.
Dude.
Commenter Anna May probably puts it best because music
The universal link, dude, I hate this. Bro, I thought they're not using music to brainwash, they're using music to communicate. Nah, bro, this brings diss tracks to a whole new level, bro. Nah, dude.
This is insane. Commenter
What?
Anna May probably puts it best because music literally is the universal language. I felt like there was even more though, and then a second train hit me.
What?
This is already canon.
Bro, I don't know how many trains one person can take at one time, dude.
Second train.
This is
hit
too many
me.
trains for me.
This is already canon. It was established in All Hail King Julian, the show that answers everything, that music is how they communicate with the gods.
Oh,
you called me crazy.
my
Who's
God.
laughing now? There are wrinkles as expected. Some of the bigger wrinkles in all this are the intentions of various characters, like how the Sky Gods are out to destroy Mort, but they still befriend smart Mort. There's a lot of overlap, and things again are not as black and white as they seem. If you think Mort clamping onto Julian's feet is a slight leap, take notice of how half the time Mort's musical endeavors are smug and cynical and full of disdain. A danse macabre. So I returned to the show yet again, and then a third train hit
Oh,
me.
another
The Club
train.
Moist episode. Mort goes up on stage to sing a song, and the lyrics tell us exactly what I've been saying. Your feet make me weak when I'm dancing to the beat. There it is.
Oh my God.
Your
Your feet make me weak when I'm dancing to the beat, bro. Nah, bro, Mort got a foot fetish. This is crazy. This is easy. Made me gets weak at the side of the feet. He just like me, bro. But this is insane.
feet make me weak
This is
when
insane.
I'm dancing to the beat.
Bro, he don't care about them titties. He don't care about the ass. He don't care about the hips. He don't care about the thighs. He don't care about the hourglass figure. He care about the feet, dude. This is bad.
What I've been saying.
This is
Your
bad.
feet make me weak when I'm dancing to the beat. There it is. Stop doubting these things. Julian is a being whose mere existence, by little fault of his own, keeps Mort suppressed. The feet are the key to dancing, and they are grounded like Mort, and this is our answer to both the music cult and the feet obsession. Last but not least, I have our final twists. Firstly, some more evidence that the Central Park Zoo is some sort of stronghold for suppressing animal intelligence. Obviously, there's the big evidence like Alice and the Mort plushies, but how about evidence from the films directly? Well, evidence that they know about the intelligence should come purely from the way they treat the gang. They keep them weak and pampered so as to suppress them and keep them docile. Do you remember the film I deemed to be a companion piece to Madagascar, Over the Hedge? Well, in it, the main plot line is the antithesis to this. RJ shows off how humans are getting pampered and weaker and losing mobility and devolving. Both sides are trying to suppress the other into
my
extinction,
God.
and it seems to be working. Also, note the moon. Perhaps Vincent was the villain of the film for the same reason he was used at the Honey trial. He's on the wrong side of this fight, but something's going on here. The suppression, the war, the timeline. Commenter Gavin Alexander Hernandez pointed out some of the most critical evidence I've seen from you all yet, and it's that the president from Monsters vs. Aliens literally greets aliens.
He looks
by
like
blaring
Jay
a
Leno.
musical meme on a piano for no reason. Musical meme alien team, I ask for one last time. How the can someone disagree with this? He's been fully immersed in
Dude,
general...
he's spitting, bro. How can you disagree with this absolute mountain of evidence, bro?
warmongers propaganda.
Dear
and as you were all
God.
eager to point out, the film's credit scene ends with him firing the nukes. End of humanity? I was instantly on board, but hold on a second. Remember, I'm feeling something off. All of the references feel like they're inverted. Something's going on here. Something's wrong. What is it?
What is it?
Oh no.
What?
I've been looking at it all wrong.
What?
Farquaad is short. Rumpel is short. Humans are getting weaker. Slowly devolving, and the gods are forcing it back and force evolving, but Shrek manages to get the throne anyways because...
What? What is it? Oh, I'm not ready.
We've
Oh my God!
been looking at it backwards this entire time. Humans don't suddenly go extinct from Mort and his forces. It's an insidious slow burn until animals take over. Kung Fu Panda isn't just in the future.
Oh my God! The humans devolved and fucking lost! Oh, dude, this is insane, bro!
Shrek is too. They call things medieval in the Shrek films. Why? That word didn't come around.
If I was in the Dreamworks universe, okay, I'm just letting you know that I would handle this situation, okay, and none of this would have happened, okay? I would have taken care of this, and there would have been no problems. I would just like to preface that.
In the future.
But this is
too.
madness, dude. I can't believe this.
They call things medieval in the Shrek films. Why? That word didn't come around until long after the actual medieval times. Prince Charles on the wall? How can he exist in a past that doesn't? Oh goodness, could Far Far Away be the actual Hollywood repurposing Disneyland into legitimization while they sing songs from the 2000s? A frog became human and usurped the throne. Animals are getting happy endings. What is going on here? Why are the Mort forces getting their happiness? Unless... Oh my. Have I been wrong about Mort this entire time?
What?
He's not the villain. He's the good guy. Mort's been the hero all this time?
You keep doing this to me! Why? Why you keep throwing these haymakers? These plot twists? What is this?
He's just death. The devils are the enemy here. Oh, what? The amount of holes in this, I'm aware. I'm aware of how backwards and wild this sounds and how it on the surface changes the origin of the music cult, but there are equally as many holes if the timeline was forwards, and Madagascar always seems to be the origin anyways. The villains had tricked me into siding with them, and this is about to get wild. I will prove this.
Oh
Next
my
time, whenever that may be, I might
gosh.
discuss the Muffin Man's wife who was hiding fairy tale creatures, maybe the magic mirror's identity, and of course the rest of the films. This one's been a mess, but also can someone please find out which painting this is referencing? I've been looking, but I can only find close but not quites. You'll see I still haven't added my old Kung Fu Panda or Rise of the Guardians theories to the playlist, but I might in the future, so prepare yourself. Stay tuned. This whole game just changed. Until next time, everybody, I'm the Theorizer. Mort may haunt my dreams, but I have the upper hand, considering I'm real and he's not.
Oh my god, bro. How does this keep going? How does this just get deeper and deeper and crazier, more psychotic as each episode drops, bro? Are you fucking kidding me? We start off pretty mild, right? Start off pretty mild. Okay, the moon. The moon is the embodiment of all of the gods, and that's where the sky gods and fairy godmother and all of those people, that's where they get their magical powers from, is from the moon. The moon is connected to all these other movies. Cool. Great. But now you're telling me we have an entire timeline flip. And what we think is ancient is actually present, and what we think is present is actually the olden times. The humans devolved, ended up losing the war against the advanced beastly creatures, and now we're at fucking Kung Fu Panda where the animals reign supreme, bro. Now you're telling me that Mort is, even though he is death, he is not the villain, and he is the hero saving everybody from the true villains, which is the devil of the humans of the feet of the French, bro. Dude, dear Lord Almighty, I don't know how this dude watched Madagascar 3 times and we ended up at this point, bro. Dear God, I don't know how I don't know where we even go from here, bro. I don't even have a guess, bro. I don't even want to try to guess because usually he just comes on a whole different path, bro. This is getting out of control. I didn't think it could get any more wild, dude. But oh my dear God.